So we're all just sitting there watching a very predictable first 6 or 7 draft picks, and then bam, the Falcons at 8 take Penix, who will probably be like 28 years old by the time he replaces the $180 million quarterback in Kirk Cousins they just signed, who, by the way, is headed to the Falcons Stadium to burn that bitch to the ground. And then at 12, we see Bo Nix, who a lot of people seen maybe as a late first-round pick or later. We're thinking, hey, Raiders, why don't you go for Rattler? Who cares at this point? There's going to be no literal eligible quarterbacks by the time round 2 is over, and we just don't know what's going on. But the Broncos know what's going on. The Broncos said, hey, you know who our head coach is? This is a guy that likes to, dink and dime. He likes to go short. You know who Bo Nix is? A guy that threw a lot of short passes. I always hear this whole Drew Brees to him. But obviously very accurate in the short to intermediate range. And once again, that's what Sean Payton and really the Saints at the time like to do. So going to Sean Payton as Bo Nix is not the worst case in the world. Obviously, the offensive line is far from a problem. It's a pretty good offensive line. If Ben Powers actually played his part after they signed him to, at the time, a pretty expensive contract. Now it's like, guard contracts are way crazier. Of course, need a new center probably, but overall, this is not a bad offensive line. Weapons are lacking a little bit. Jerry Jeudy obviously gone now to the Browns, but you still have Cortland Sutton. He's, a true wide receiver one. Mims was injured. We don't really know. Dulcich, bear with me, names. I'm like Roger Goodell, let's be honest. Don't know a whole lot about him either. A lot of injuries there. Tim Patrick, the one season he did play, he's still literally riding the coattails of that one season more than Odell Beckham did that one catch. I'll take it back. Okay, Odell he was really good. Okay, Javonte Williams, obvious down season there, but this is an offense that it's gonna take some time, but they could annoy you to death. So I'll be honest with you. Playing against the Broncos feels like it's going to be annoying this year. So I don't feel like the AFC West is going to be super fun, having a super good time playing this really annoying offense. They could still use some more talent, but do I see it early in the draft, the first 2, 3 rounds? Maybe, if the value's there, because there's still some pretty good wide receivers on the board. I'd like to say them trade up for Johnny Newton, though. Let's be honest, this D-line could use some work. Cornerback, obviously that's another position. A lot of injuries there as well. They brought in Levi Wallace, but he's a very poor bandage at best. Safeties, Brandon Jones actually had, a career year. And then we talk about Stearns, another injury-prone guy. Another guy that had, maybe not injury-prone, but another guy out with injury. Drew Sanders, out with injury. Edge, they need help in general. They had some okay seasons from Bonito and Cooper, but overall, they need some help at the linebacker position in general. And then interior, the front 7 just needs work, all right? And they could use a corner, could use a safety. As far as Madden goes, this is a team that needs a lot. As far as real life goes, this is a team that needs a lot. Either way, the defense absolutely needs to get some love in these next 2 rounds. You got your quarterback. Sure, you could use another offensive lineman, but I think they need to go defense with their next couple of picks. It is a problem. Of course, in this rebuild, we're just going to play it how it lies. Bo Nix is going to be just the sole addition to this roster. Of course, I am using, let me find the name, a roster from the user Terra9699. This is on Next Gen Xbox, and I don't hate it. I kind of like it. Talk about how Bo Nix is, super experienced and very accurate. I think the ratings are pretty decent. I didn't look at all of the players' ratings, but I think he does actually have, or they, it could be a female, I don't freaking know, have all the first-round picks as of now. I don't want to go too crazy with rebuilds. Obviously, I can grind as hard as possible and just, do a billion different rebuilds, all on this weekend. But I do want to get the actual, all the other players in. I just felt like Bo Nix, maybe Penix, they're kind of just so far out there of picks of maybe not far out there, but kind of unexpected picks as high as they went, that I wanted to get this one out at least. You might not see another rebuild from me until Sunday. We'll see. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, also wanted to shout out Derek from the Bears franchise. Very big Bo Nix lover. Basically anyone from Oregon. All right, not a whole lot of money, but it doesn't appear to be a whole lot of names either. Is this really all we have is 4 names? And one of them is technically a 5th-year option, which I know that they did pick up in real life for around 18 mil. Here we go to the playoffs, and this Denver Broncos team, even with that loss, has absolutely shocked everyone. J.J. McCarthy, the number 3 quarterback for yards The Vikings got themselves a real one, apparently. But look at that win streak. Lost to the Patriots and the Raiders at the end, but really good stuff. Don't know how you lose to those teams, but win against the ones you do. But I'm not going to complain, as we're in the playoffs already. You could argue that Bo Nix maybe could have been star dev to start, but I kind of feel like, I feel like normal is fair. Like I said, you could argue that star dev, and I got to say, he had a really bad year one. 25 touchdowns, 19 interceptions, 3,500 yards. I mean, that's not great. That really isn't. Sutton maybe did enough for superstar. Javonte, pretty damn good season, actually, for a lower overall. Marvin Mims was meh. Dolchich was okay. And Patrick actually played a season. Offensive line, not the best I've ever seen. Pass rush, Browning at 8.5 is okay. Allen at 8.5 is okay. The rest, we don't want to talk about. Picks, 4 for Surtain, who is just an insane overall at his age. A couple of 2s in there. Kicking, Will Lutz only missed 1 kick out of 14, which is great. Dixon, 50-plus is all I can ask for. Smith, who is obviously a return specialist, gets 1 kick return touchdown. Josh Allen is the MVP. Any rookies on the list? Drake May at number 10. Impressive. And then we move on to the other awards that could have been won. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Rashee Rice. May at number 2. Demario Douglas at 3. Where were we? Nix at 10. I mean, he was on the list, which I didn't even think he was going to get that, to be honest. Drew Sanders at number 4. Best QB, definitely not on the list, right? He had a really bad year, realistically here. Number 10 for running back. Okay. It's a little surprising. Sutton at 6. Like I said, maybe a chance at a dev up. Quinn Miners was one off of Superstar. Oh, that hurts. That is pain. Linebacker, 4 for Browning. DB, not on the list, really? I thought Patrick would have been on the list, but I guess not. Kicking, number 2. But that is a pain, being number 2. We could have had a superstar lineman. But not as much of a pain as when I knew that you weren't subscribed to the channel. Yep, that's maybe subscribe, franchise. Also, 2 things. We got 1,000 XP for our trench boost, but also Cody Barton at 26 has a chance at a breakout. That is kind of crazy. But yeah, while you're, subscribing or leaving a like or you're doing none of that, maybe leave in the comment section below what team you'd like to see next. I think after the full draft is over, it'd be a better idea of, what teams, need the rebuild the most or which ones are the most fun to do. But, yeah, just let me know what team you'd like to see. We've done a lot of the teams already. We didn't do the Bears with Caleb Williams and Odunze. I did it with Neighbors instead, so we'll definitely have to do them at some point. But for teams that are, we've done so much of, even this Broncos team that we did a speed rebuild recently for and a regular rebuild earlier this month, those are the teams that we're going to hold off until the end of the draft. But maybe we do a Falcons rebuild, tomorrow or something. I don't know. We'll see. Because day 2 to 3, that's probably kind of all that really matters, or not day 2 to 3, rounds 2 to 3. So 1 through 3, everything else is going to be pretty low overalls anyways. But, yeah, we'll see. Regardless, talk through that one because let's be real. We knew that we weren't going to win. Not a great completion percentage, but at least didn't throw a pick for Bo Nix. Rushing was basically non-existent. Derrick Henry cooked against us. And yeah, I mean, it's a team that really shouldn't even want to make the playoffs yet. We did. We competed, and it'll probably cost us in the long run. Did Barton get his dev up, though? And he didn't. Not that it would have mattered. He's kind of a lower overall anyways, but no dev up regardless. And wow, the Bears in the Super Bowl year 1. All these additions might have been enough. And it was. The Bears win the Super Bowl. I mean, they've got a stacked offense on paper. That Bears team, man. That NFC North, kind of scary. No dev-ups on offense, not even Sutton. And then no dev-ups on defense either. Basically a wasted year. All right, 5th-year option. It's supposed to be 18 mil, but we, don't really have that many names to pay anyways. Rookie contract, after all, which we will, after the draft, do an offline league, make all the devs what we think they should be, all the contracts proper, and, we'll be cooking. But for right now, we're in, makeshift mode a little bit here. So, yeah, that'll take a little while. But what do we want to do here for the free agents? Edge rusher, maybe? Amari Cooper's there. Pierce. Not really seeing any crazy names right now, which is actually, less than normal for us, which is kind of good. Like I said, this the class we use, I think is actually really good. I think he so far made some pretty accurate numbers. I think Brock Bowers like 82 overall. I mean, most of the things I'm seeing are pretty damn fair. Caleb at 78, and I don't hate it. I do not hate it. Glazing, and then there's what this will happen. Cooper DeJean. Wait, did somebody take? I kind of zoned out of the draft. Did somebody take him at the end of the first? Yeah, he wasn't drafted. I was so confused. I was like, wait, what? Did I miss one? I kind of tuned out after the Packers pick of the most exciting choice you can have, which is a versatile offensive lineman. But why is Cooper DeJean even here? Did he make a mistake? I see Cooper here as well. Maybe he just made all the Coopers. Or maybe he made like all the rookies and just put them in free agency. I suppose, if I believe that this team's going to be taking like Johnny Newton or something, I could, if he's there or something, maybe make that play. But yeah, I don't think we're going to be spending any money in free agency as it stands. And with that, we might just head on to the draft, which once again, we're in a weird spot because we really shouldn't have made the playoffs, yet we did. Not to say that the Broncos can't make the playoffs. It's any given Sunday. I mean, really, you just don't know how the season's going to shake up. But as far as our pure talent goes in Madden, I'm genuinely shocked that we actually did make it, though. All right, entering the draft at pick 23. For me to know who I'm taking, I have to see the reports of our further scouting. Beekman, the safety, looks okay as a 2-3. I don't hate it. Cornerbacks, Thurman looks great. Sherwood has great zone coverage. My real hope would be that Sherwood goes first, so then I could just trade up and get Thurman. But I don't know if that's going to happen. We're going to sim to, the next cornerback pick around those two. So maybe like 18 or so. If we can get Thurman around 18, I'll trade up because we need a corner. We need a lot, but the D-line, the talent in this one is not so good. It's not so good at all. We trade a fourth in the future and Cooper to move up 5 spots of the Eagles, which I believe is going to be Thurman. Also got to get our second round pick back because obviously the Sean Payton trade is over. There's some other great value, ironically enough, quarterback, but obviously it'd be a pretty pointless rebuild for me to redo the Broncos to just replace Bo Nix right away. That'd be very dumb. We also have this guy, Trey Levy. I didn't expect round 1 talents to be this far, but I don't think he looks that great anyway. So we're going to be moving on to our board, and there are some wide receivers there, some tight ends even. Rashad Melton, the value looks pretty good, but I think I'm going to be moving on from him and going to this cornerback, Mr. Thurman. He doesn't look perfect, but I think he is one of the best corners in this class. I wish I would have been able to scout that man coverage, though, which definitely scares me a little bit. But athletic, 5'11", 8 catching. The Jaguars really want him, but we get him instead. The Broncos with hidden dev, Clint Thurman. We got ourselves cornerback 2, baby. All right, we'll move on to the next pick, which is 23 in the second round. We don't really have the best when it comes to the remaining of this draft. I don't really think there's a lot of great players here, but there's still probably somebody worth taking. Tight end Dom and Anthony maybe is the guy. Dolchich, I think he could still develop for us, but I don't know if I feel super confident in him. Offensive line, Winston actually looks pretty good. Winston Church, Hill, Torrance. I mean, we got some DTs, but they're not great. I would like a new DT, but I'm not sure if we're going to be able to pull that off. Beekman is only 5'9", so do I really feel good about a 5'9" safety? But it is a tough position to draft. DT, they come and go. There's really not a lot of DT talent in this one. This is like my last remaining guy, and he's got a freaking D tackle. Don't know the block shed. Sure, he could be hidden, but he's going to be a low overall no matter what. I don't think I can make that play there. Offensive line, it's a need, but we could always just go with Kevin Johnson. As far as tight end, we can go Anthony, or we can maybe go with Kirk Lloyd. He's decently athletic. Don't know how good he is, but a couple of okay ratings in there. Maybe he's the future at the position. I think based solely on the fact that it's kind of hard to grab a starting safety, I'm going to go with Beekman and hopefully not regret life as a whole. I regret life as a whole. Dom Anthony is still there at tight end as well. 21 years old, decently athletic. I like the other guy too, though, Lloyd, but chances are your best bet for getting dev players is going to be higher. You go. Brennan is a 3-4. Okay, that's interesting. Decently athletic, B finesse, B block shed. I'm taking a chance on Lance Brittingham. This draft is not going so well, I gotta be honest. And then our next pick is 28. Okay, I'm sure of it. Let's move on to the Titans here if we can get their pick. We use a 5th round pick to move up like 20-some spots. I kind of skipped through that one pretty easily because there's not really much to see. And with that pick, we are going to be taking, I believe, the tight end Lloyd. We also have this lineman here. I'm going to go Lloyd. Kirk Lloyd, please just be sneaky. Yes, he's super sneaky. 89 jump, 87 change of direction for an 85 speed tight end. Of course, 6'2" is a little bit on the shorter side, but he is absolutely worth it. And with the next pick, assuming the center's not gone, we're going to go and trade up with the Texans and maybe turn this thing around a little bit with back-to-back or very close to back-to-back picks being hidden development trait. Not the best draft we've ever had, but maybe the safeties are decent overall. We don't care too much about normal anymore if that's the case. I really don't have a lot to trade here. I think this might be enough. Close to it. We're getting there. Maybe I do have to put up both 7s and then some, which we do not. So we clear the rest of our draft to make way for this new center, who might even be the starting center. Did not get the DT position solved, which is really, not something I want to be able to say. But we had no choice, as the options weren't great. Kevin Johnson, please. Thank you. These day 3s that look pretty promising are almost always hidden dev, and they're really well to bet on. Their overalls usually aren't great, but star dev is always great. Although it could be superstar, you never know. To the draft recap. Oops, wrong button. 75 overall for the corner, which is great. 70 for the safety is not great. 67 for the edge rusher is terrible. The tight end, fair enough. Center, better than expected. So, we did have pick 23, so we weren't in the best shape. Really good man and zone, great press, decent catching. Very good corner, obviously. Let's take a look at the dev. Who is he looking at? Star dev. It wasn't a good draft in general, though, I got to say. But we did land a couple of potential starters. Strong safety Beekman. I don't really like him. I'm going to be honest with you. I really regret this pick. But at the end of the day, I felt like we were about to get a future starter there. Very raw from Brittingham, which sucks. I want to see Winters because we passed on him. And then Kirk Lloyd, based on age, I think is going to be our starting tight end no matter what. Could we get lucky? We've seen a couple of X-Factor tight ends in the past that go late, and we're not going to get that lucky this time. Honoring Demarius there with his number. And looking at Kevin Johnson, the very good pass-blocking center, really built to play center. He is pretty small. Dev is star dev. The one position I did want to see, like I said, is the right end position, Winters. Was there also someone here? I can't remember. There might have been some linemen there, but I want to see Winters, the pass rusher. See if we made the wrong call. Should have went with him, who has maybe hidden dev or something. Although I'm going to be honest with you, I may miss his name like a million times here. Winters, 67 overall to the Dolphins, who is also normal development trait. Yeah, I like our guy better. Fits better for the scheme as well. It's a real shame that, position minimum never really panned out in the league. I really thought, he was gonna do things, and unfortunately not. Gonna end up going with Tyler Shatley as the mentor backup. Real shame. Love the story. I'm trying to think about if we want to change the scheme at all. Bo Nix, 74 overall after a full season as a starter. Didn't really progress much, and I have the sliders up there a bit, so a little unfortunate there, and I mean, a lot of it could be the scheme. Don't want to really just go away from this Broncos Saints scheme, if you will, this early, but at the same time, I feel like it is kind of like slowing our development a little bit, but we might just keep it for one more year, trying to find a similar scheme to it. Brittingham is going to start because Nick Benito, even though he's 6 overalls higher, is already lower. That's a lie in finesse. I misread it, but he does have a lower block shed, and his ceiling is lower in general. So, gonna use Brittingham, hoping for like a breakout, and then maybe like rookie of the year, and he can go from normal to superstar in just one season. Same kind of thing with Stearns would have been dev. Never mind. It was Stearns. He was normal, right? Never mind. I am not sure where I saw the need for safety then. I think I thought Stearns was still normal, but even then, I mean, it's just okay. Beekman's a backup. But yeah, this is the squad. We needed D-line, but D-line was weak. If D-line was decent, I probably would have traded that second-round pick instead of Beekman being the selection. Go into the third round, grab a DT or two. but there was just none. I mean, this is one of the weakest DC classes I've seen in a while, and usually there's some decent ones in there, but not this time. Hey, Baron Browning, 1 of 2. That'll be some XP. 117 mil, Javonte Williams, definitely. Miners, 100%. Baron Browning, we will have to see, because that's a lot of money. Caden Stearns, likely. And then Bo Nix, obviously, will have to adjust the contract to a 5-year deal. Garrett Bowles, maybe. And then the rest are pretty much backups. Sliver of a chance to make the playoffs, but I do not see it. Pretty big drop-off here at 8 and 9. Switch the scheme up. I can't remember which team we switched to. But, yeah, it needed a change, because look at this. I mean, that beginning was terrible. Second half wasn't as, good of a turnaround as I thought we were going to have, but it was still a little bit of a turnaround. And overall, pretty disappointing season without a doubt. So far, I got to be honest, Bo Nix is not impressing. I mean, the amount of interceptions this guy is throwing is crazy to me. Usually you get that really bad first season, and then the season 2 is a little bit better, but this one is not the case. Javonte Williams was pretty good again. Sutton should go to Superstar this time. Mims was pretty good. Lloyd was okay. Blocking, a lot of sacks given up by the tackles. 20 combined. Browning, really good turnaround in the season. He had like 3.5 sacks by week 12. Ended up having 9. Gave him a 3-year 48. And then the rest is history. Speaking of the rest is history, the rest of the players did not do well. Thurman could be Rookie of the Year with those numbers. Surtain, would have been a dev up season if he needed one. Missed 2 kicks out of 14 with Lutz, and under 50 yards per pump from Dixon, who needs a contract. Not a good time to go mid on us, I'll be honest with you. But any award wins, we did not even get Rookie of the Year on defense. Number 2 again at a position. Love that. Cortland Sutton, best wide receiver as a whole. Maybe even goes to X Factor. Best DB as well with Surtain. So a couple of actual award wins despite going 8 and 9. Still pretty disappointed. I do not know what Bo Nix's overall is or whatnot, but probably going to ride this thing out at least for another season with him at the QB spot, and then maybe move on. We'll see. Could just be a failed rebuild, but at the end of the day, a rebuild's a rebuild. You're not going to always complete them. I mean, there's teams that have been in shambles for how long? But the Cowboys do win the Super Bowl over the Ravens by 3, and DevUps on offense. Sutton does go to Superstar. Really would have loved to see him go to X Factor, though. I felt like Superstar because of the best wide receiver, and then the yards and touchdowns would have been enough to get an X Factor. But either way, it's still nice to see. I can't remember what our recent enough rebuild of the Broncos ended up as. Bo Nix with 160 XP sliders, already 25, only a 76 overall. It really feels like he is barely upgrading at this point. Then we move on to the defensive side of the ball. Browning goes to Superstar, and Thurman goes to Superstar anyways, even without the award win. Huge dev-ups there, especially for Browning, who is kind of gearing up as our number 1 edge rusher. Missing the playoffs is going to help us as well with a better draft pick. Might even go edge. It's hard not to go QB when you're getting this bad of a, kind of seasons out of Bo Nix, but we'll do one more season at minimum with him as a starter, and then we might look around a little bit. But yeah, we got some dev ups. Is that Riley Moss with a dev up as well? Star dev probably doesn't matter, but either way, it's better than not getting the dev up. But let's take a look at our re-signings. I took care of business. I can't really remember if there was anyone we actually did need to re-sign. Left, I think they were pretty much all old. Even Garrett Bowles is on the team again. $87 million. Tons of free agent money here. Zach Wilson, he's going to be gone, obviously. And, these are kind of the guys that go into free agency. No one really, must keep players. So I think we'll be fine. I think we'll manage. But let's go on into free agency. Tua's there. Charvarius Ward, that's a more realistic name. Don't really need corner, though. Wyatt Teller is always there. Nick Bolton. We need off-ball bad. And if this was any other team's player besides the Chiefs, I'm thinking, it's probably not realistic. But you know what? Nick Bolton, this Chiefs team, something's got to give. They're going to lose someone sometime, somewhere. And I think that's going to be their guy. That's going to be the guy they lose. But looking around, there's some okay names here. But overall, I think that's probably going to be our biggest name. Ooh, Aleem McNeil's here. I'm willing to pay, overpay a little bit for a position we desperately need. Will we get him, though? I don't know. A 2-year 30 is not actually crazy considering it's open market. We've seen what they paid for Zach Allen. It didn't necessarily go badly, but it definitely wasn't, great either. But, yeah, we need some O-linemen, but I don't think we're going to get that. We really, not even really need O-line. We need O-line for the future, not even just yet. Fautano, we're seeing a couple of, the real-life names. Like I said, I'm going to try to, once the draft process is all over, do some sort of offline save. The problem is I don't think you can use, rosters offline. I think, you have to make the rosters yourself. So if I do, it'll take a little while to do that, I think. But we'll manage one way or the other. We'll manage. Wyatt Teller, like I said, a name that I do like a lot, but we grab him so often. I can't just keep doing that move, I don't think. And then obviously McNeil we like. That might be it. I don't think there's going to be much other options. Ojulari maybe is an okay name. 77 finesse, though. I'd rather just roll with who we got or grab someone new. Off ball, like we said, Nick Bolton. I would love for him to join us. I'm going to be very disappointed if he doesn't join the team. But yeah, I think those are the two names, McNeil and Bolton. And of course we don't get Bolton. Are you kidding me? Okay, it's the Bills. I guess you're not kidding me. And the Rams are going to take McNeil on us. Wow, that's fun. So we're entering the draft at pick 16. Obviously, our biggest need right now is edge rusher. The problem is all of the edge rushers are round 1 projected. So there's a very good chance that the majority of them go. 2 of them already out of the first 3 picks go in that first top 10 round spot. Peppers was on the list. Those 2 DNs were on the list. There's edge talent, but at the same time, they are going to be going fast. They also have a 1-2 that I do like quite a bit as well. After that, I'm going to start looking around here, as there's not a whole lot of edge left, but there is still talent. We have Conrad, we have Rankin, and then we have Gilmore for the most part. There's some other options, I think, like Roman Ray, but don't know about that now. So realistically, we kind of just want one of these 2, I think. I scouted Rankin more, so I'm about to find out if that was a good decision. A to B finesse, A to B block shed. Looks decent. I worry about normal dev. 6'5". I mean, this guy looks pretty. Oh, he's slow, though. Yeah, he's mid. He's kind of mid. So if Rankin goes, I might just take a reach and grab that 1-2. But I'm really hoping Conrad goes before Rankin. And if he does, we might trade up. Ray, he was kind of mid. No way. Give me. Yeah, okay, Rankin's there. Like I said, I do really like the other guy, though. That is 1-2. Cameron Gilmore, we scouted him further as well. Let's take a look at what we're cooking up here. Very athletic. A finesse, C block shed, A awareness, B play rec, B pursuit. He looks really good. I'm not even worried about trading now, and I would take this guy right here over Rankin if that's what I think is the right call. I really like Rankin too, though. Round 1, I'm taking Rankin. Yes, hidden dev. We don't know if he's actually better than Gilmore, but I landed a hidden dev lineman or a pass rusher, and that is all that matters to me. Oh, we have some other DT options, don't get me wrong, but Cofield still being there is nice. You also have Kerry Mann. Safety's not that big of a need, believe it or not. We kind of reached for one last time. Oh, McCain as well. The future of Sutton. We traded off Sutton last rebuild kind of early. Do we do it again? DT is an option, but a wide receiver is... I'm going to go McCain. Yes! I can't remember what we did last time, but we definitely traded off Sutton rather early. But I might just let McCain sit for a little bit instead. We need the D-line for sure. I just think grabbing wide receiver, drafting wide receiver is harder to do. And that's why I did the move I did. Move up 5 spots using a 7th this and a 7th next. Maybe I could have just done the 7th in general, but we're going to be grabbing the remaining DT. Troy Drummond was the guy I wanted the most. And I was actually about to stop right there. I was like, you know what? I'm actually going to go for the guy I want the most rather than who's remaining. And it was too late at that point. We're going to go Andrew Washington here. Could even trade someone from the future to try, a draft pick from the future to try and get one of the linemen, but please be hidden. Normal dev. I'm really hoping that Drummond wasn't hidden because I skipped the pick and I was just about to, I was like, you know what? I might actually just trade up now. Screw it. And right when I did that, it was GG. All right, trade our last pick this year, a 3rd, a 4th, and a 5th next year with the Niners for an offensive lineman, I think, who looks very promising. That's a lot to lose. Might even force us to trade our 2nd-round pick next year down. But I think Whitlock just looks so damn good that I need to go for him. 21 years old. His strength really is lacking, but he looks really, really good. And he is hidden. Okay, maybe we went a little crazy, but an earlier season of starting over Powers, I think it's needed. Also, do we even have Powers anymore? I thought I saw his name on the list of re-signings, and we obviously passed on it. whether we did or not, obviously he's going to be starting. So offensive line, not in the best spot. Still need some tackles going forward. But for right now, we're all right. We're all right. But let's take a look at the overalls. Once again, kind of hurt our draft picks for the future, but we landed a hidden dev offensive lineman. That's all you could really ask for. 76, 75, 72, 74. So the DT is definitely mid as hell. Still really haven't fixed that defensive tackle position interior-wise, but really good finesse from Rankin. Really, really curious to see how he compares to Gilmore. I was never going to take the other guy, so I don't really care. Star dev, not, spectacular, but good enough. McCain, 75 overall, 21 years old as well. Really good short route, really good release, solid route running. Good enough speed, especially for his size, and very, very good catching. No aggressive catch at 6'5", though, which is just, like, what are we doing, EA? Like, what are we doing? Dev? Oh, that's a huge pick. He's an X Factor. That is actually one of our best receiver picks we've had in a long time. Okay. I don't know what number to put him at. 12? 15? I'm going to put him at 15. That is a pick. X Factor. Who were we going to take instead of him? It was the DT, it was the DN Cofield. I want to see how good Cofield was, because it was between them two. Whitlock actually doesn't look too bad either. He's going to play left guard for us. I'm impressed. That is insane. That is a really good draft pick. I want to compare our edge rusher, though, to who we could have had. So where did Conrad go? Conrad went slightly after, 72 overall, also hidden. There's no way in hell I was going to take him over the guy we took, though. So even if he's an X Factor, whatever, I don't really care. Start up. Okay, so didn't miss out on him, obviously. We're chilling. And then where was the other guy? Gilmore? All the way in the second round. 72 overall. Normal dev. Yeah, not bad, but definitely not as good as our guy. I'm very glad we did not grab him. So we cooked so far. Cofield went one pick after us, 73 overall. Hidden dev, kind of excited at 6'6". Pretty good strength. Athleticism's there. Block shed's amazing. Power move's decent. I mean, he would have to be at least superstar for me to be like, damn, we should have grabbed him. Okay, I mean, we cooked star dev, and then what about the DT that was before us? He's definitely going to be better, minimum, because I was about to say, he's going to be hidden, but in general, his ratings are going to be better, so he couldn't be worse, because our guy was literally the lowest dev. Drummond. Ooh, that's a big miss, though. I swear, I was literally just about to stop simming and trade up for him, and he literally just went right there. That is so annoying, because that would have been really good to have an X Factor and a superstar at, pretty big positional needs. X Factor wide receiver, that's not going to start right away, though. That is definitely something. I guess Mims goes to the slots, I suppose? I don't even know, but it was a decent draft. It wasn't bad, but we did also cost our 3rd, 4th, and 5th round picks next season. Oh, damn. Generational sitting in free agency. It is a punter, but that is a damn good punter. 99 kick power, 99 accuracy. I mean, I've seen some generationals that are like 99 accuracy, 87 kick power, which you ain't doing a whole lot with that, let's be real. All right, here we are for Season 3. Really the big sort of anchor is Bo Nix himself, ironically enough. The offensive line is trending in the right direction. We do need a right tackle, need a new left tackle, but for right now, we're fine. Wide receivers, we got the new X Factor wide receiver. Mims will be the number 2 going forward, but Mims right now is going to slide down to the number 3 spot. I don't know if Sutton needs a contract soon, but he's probably a candidate to go to free agency. But yeah, he's not a bad player either, but we got ourselves a younger and higher ceiling Sutton with McCain anyways. Then you move on to the defensive side of the ball. Still need DTs, still need a linebacker. Safety could use some work, but Rankin was definitely a pick that is in the right direction. And then, of course, Thurman, he's a superstar now, so it's getting there. It's still just a little far off. All right, we're switching to the Chiefs scheme because we are having a mid-season. Surtain, obviously, I mean, he's just going to get the max deal here. 7-year, 165. I don't even know what that comes out to. Like, not that bad, actually. Jones going to be replaced. Dolchich going to be replaced. Sutton, I kind of want to do like a 1-year deal and trade him off for like, I don't even know, like a 3rd round pick minimum. And I don't know if that's going to happen, but we're going to try because we have all the cap in the world. We just don't have much like draft capital. That reminded me of like the Hillary Clinton Pokemon Go to the polls. What a legend, honestly. That's the only thing. Like that right there That's pretty memeable, and that's all that matters to me is memes. But yeah, we're going to lifetime contract this generational punter and try to not cry ourselves asleep with all the players we're about to lose. Hey, there we go. Bo Nix finally showing something. Now star dev. And year 3, it looks like it's going to be a waste as we are 8-9 again. Obviously, there's no point in showing you the win-loss because, I mean, at this point, I don't really see... Oh, Bo. Not bad because we only used the Chiefs scheme like halfway through the season, so he was actually doing pretty well. We just weren't winning games with the regular scheme that we were running. Sutton was decent. McCain was pretty good. Lloyd was decent. And Mims wasn't even that bad. So we actually did pretty well with this scheme. Left tackle was not great, but right tackle McGlinchey had a great year. Defensively, wow. Didn't change the scheme, but I might need to change the playbook or something. Punter, generational, apparently not. I mean, EA, listen to me. Hear me out. The probable highest overall punter in the league with 99 kick power and 99 accuracy put up under 50 yards per punt. Like, are we really just rolling a dice and just deciding, okay, whatever the number lands, that's what we're going to do? Bo Nix makes the top 10 in the MVP list, which is great. We got Offensive Rookie of the Year, and that appears to be it. But we got another award win, I guess, but the guy was already an X Factor, so it probably doesn't matter too much. But here we are, going to the offseason for Season 3. I don't know if it's going to happen. This might be a failed rebuild, which, I mean, hey, it would be pretty boring if every single rebuild resulted in a Super Bowl win. I personally think so, at least. The Rams win the Super Bowl 26-7. A lot of new teams. I like to see it. Dev-ups for Bo Nix and Sutton. Oh, no. Oh, no. Sutton's a freaking X Factor. He's an 88 overall. I don't know what to do. I genuinely don't, because I don't want to give him that big of a deal, but I don't know if I want to let him go anymore. Superstar Dev for Bo Nix. Tight end, I don't think would have went up in Dev. Did not. Defense, we see no Dev ups, I believe. I did not think we had a single Dev up, which not even Washington's involved, but 86 overall, we're starting to get there. Don't know what to do with Sutton, though, because, you know, like I said, I don't really want to keep him, but at the same time, we have the money to keep him. And also, he's still pretty good. He's still pretty good. I don't know what the regression's like if he already regressed. 88 overall, he's like just barely like in the top 20 of wide receivers. Sutton also does want to stick around now. So 4-year 72, his ask is 64. I would just do a 2-year 36. Yeah, I mean, it's an overpay technically compared to what he wants, but I was about to say that's not bad. Gonna let all these guys go still. No change of heart has been taken. Cody Barton's not a bad name to maybe resign, but I'm really just hoping and praying that we're actually going to get somebody here in free agency that's worth the money, because we have so much of it, but there's just nobody that either is A, there, or B, wants to join us. 84 overall, but 150 mil. I'm going to have to pay players. Jalen Ramsey is probably not one of those players. Don't need Phillips. No shot, bro. Dallas Turner's a free agent for whatever reason. So, is there like a corner here that wants to play free safety? We did the Kendall Fuller thing. Geno Stone? I mean, I might have no choice. I'm going to go Geno Stone because we have all the money in the world and we need safety. Boom. No strong safety corners, you know, other than maybe moving Kendall Fuller or Carlton Davis. Doesn't make sense. Gordon, actually, I think we've done that in the past. Maybe take Gordon instead of Geno and just play him at safety. I actually don't hate that. Let's do this thing. Let's withdraw the offer. D-line. Any DT types? Reader. I mean, at this point, I'm so desperate, I would just go for him. Armstead is actually not bad. I'm going to go Armstead, I think. Like, we have so much money and so little talent at certain positions, especially on the D-line, that I kind of have no choice. I really can't believe there's not better names than this. It's really annoying, but what can you do? Trent Brown might be decent. We're losing Garrett Bowles, replacing with Trent Brown. Slight upgrade, I guess. What about Tyron? I mean, I'm willing to pay Tyron. We have all this money. I don't got anyone to pay. You know, when I had to pay Bo Nix, who cares? You know, Bo Nix is, he's like a drop in the bucket. And hell, I don't even know if I want to keep him. Kind of don't really care too much. Don't really need him. But, yeah, let's go. Not even that I don't really need him. I just don't think he's played that well for us yet. Played really well this last season, but that could just be a one-off thing. Tyron, Kyler, great. Armstead, not the best name in the world, but, you know, it's a plug-and-play player who's good enough. We still need another defensive lineman, but in the right direction, of course. Looking decent. Let's see what we got. So, new left tackle will be there, which would be fine. So, future-proof O-line. Wide receivers are perfectly fine. Javonte would love to see a dev up, but maybe we'll get a backup for him. Linebacker's a problem. Safety we obviously just got. D-line, linebacker, and I guess future-proof lineman. It's not too bad, but once again, we do not have any picks past the second round other than like the 7th. I don't even know who the hell this is, but Ben Powers, I mean, they offered me. I'll take the 7th round pick with some random star wide receiver. All right, so we've selected a lot of our players right where we were sitting at the time. And this is going to be one of those times where I believe we're going to be trading down. Got a bunch of DTs in the late second, early third range, and we are going to need at least 2, maybe 3, especially if we don't land hiddens, right? We could land some players that are just not very good, and we need to grab multiples because we sold. Newkirk is another name. 1 or 2. Cornerback, I mean, it's always on the list. I'm always going to be thinking about cornerback because the value is usually there, which is kind of the case here as well. Safety, there's some options. Callaway is really good, but another 5'9"er. Basically, a long story short, we're trading down. Texans kind of give me the juice. I don't know if this is a fair value, but I like the trade, so that's all that matters to me. If I like the trade, I'm taking the trade. I don't care what the value is. It just doesn't matter to me. You intrigue me, and I will take it. Of course, they take a tackle with Trent. And I'm going to try to get to that 15 spot if I can in the second round. Make multiple selections there. The Buccaneers are also giving me a trade I really like here, but I'd like to go a little bit higher. That is a terrible trade from the Vikings, so I can't do that. I might go with the Buccaneers and then just trade up when I feel like it's time. I mean, I like that trade as well. I'm taking it. Go to the next pick at 15. The next one after that is 19. I imagine that is the trade that we just got from the Buccaneers. I imagine one of the players of the Callaway's still there. Okay, so Lockhart's obviously up on my list. Bryant's up on my list. Wallace up on my list. Leary's up on my list. But I think Newkirk was the very highest, so that's who I'm going to take here. Hidden Dev, that is a massive selection. Of course, we have Armstead, but it doesn't hurt to future-proof. Callaway goes to the Panthers. Maybe he was a superstar. I don't know. But safety's not even that big of a need right now anyways. We still have 31 in the second round. We have this pick at 19. The trade downs so far feel insanely worth it. They feel so worth it. Elam, the value could be there. We'd be replacing Stearns. Let's take a look how good Stearns is. I can't imagine he's higher than an 83. Oh, he's not even close to an 83. He's an 80 overall, which is weird because his zone coverage is actually pretty good. Yeah, I mean, long-term wise, he's never going to get close to even an 85, let alone 90. I think the value of that safety might be too good to pass. We have DTs still that we can land with the next selection anyways. You have some linebackers too. Definitely need at least 1. But I think Elam's value is just ridiculous here. So Aaron Elam's going to be my choice. 21 years old. Just fast enough. A bunch of Bs. And also hidden. Huge. Beekman was terrible for us. So, yeah, I don't know what it is. But trading down, it just seems to give you the best odds. I don't know why. The first round picks, I don't like them. I don't know. I just don't like them. DT, it's not as big of a need anymore. But the question is any of these linebackers like Wilkins, I guess, looks better than the bunch? Because I don't really know about House. I'm going to go with Wilkins here. Please give me hidden. It couldn't last forever. I don't think I'm going to replace him, though. I think I'm just going to, use him and hope he gets a dev up. Because we could draft literally another one. It could be another normal dev, and I really do not need 2 normal dev linebackers. So both of my DTs are here. I would lean towards Leary, but I'm going to see what the other guy is like. 6'4", 33 reps, 477. Kind of screams decent player. 21 years old. A little bit better from Teague strength-wise. What was the age difference? Leary was a little older. UCF versus Ohio State. I think I'm going to go youth. I'm not really sure, but I'm going Teague anyways. Yes! I don't know what the other guy's dev is, but we win. We win. Simply put, he's younger, hidden dev. It has to be star to X factor for me to feel otherwise, pretty much. And then for the final remaining players, we got a couple of day 3 linemen. Ooh, I'm going to trade up for Gilmore. That guy looks good. That guy looks insane, no? I like this. I'm trading up for the Bills. Come on, Bills. You love to give, beastly players to other teams that are kind of direct competition to you. Isn't that right, Xavier Worthy? How are you? Like, let's be honest. How many people were like, why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? The moment it said, the Chiefs have traded up, and we all knew it was Xavier Worthy. It's just, I mean, I don't even know what the haul was, in fairness, but I do kind of live by the whole, unless you know it's QB, you're just not like, I don't really care if I'm helping them if I feel like I'm helping me more, right? That's all that matters. But Jimmy Gilmore, he's the choice. Please. Yes. I don't know if we need more linemen than this, but at the end of the day, we absolutely cooked this draft. This makes, I wouldn't say makes up for, but it definitely helps redeem all the other draft classes. And we're going to go for the cornerback depth. Decent speed with a B-man, B-catch. Thought maybe there was a chance to, sneak in a sneaky little hidden dev, but no. And then at 15 in the 6th round, there was a UDFA running back that we had on our list. So if he be good, that's who I take. Really good draft, trading down, gave us all that extra ammo, and the running back's gone. It ended up working out. We got so many hiddens in this one. It's kind of crazy. Wide receiver, why not? 6'5". He's actually kind of fast. Yeah, you're going to see the rest later. But here we are for the draft recap. We see... Oh, the guard was a really high overall. We have some pretty high overalls in here. I really can't be bothered looking at all the devs, but I will. 80 block shed, really good strength. We've got a lot of high strength DTs, if I'm not mistaken, as well. But I'm not sure where, each player plays. They play somewhere on the line, right? It's right end, left end, DT, whatever. And then we have Elam, the 74 overall, who will probably start. He's a little mid for his zone and man, but at least he's young with hidden dev. Could be superstar, could be just star. Who knows? And it is star. We know. Let's take a look at the next player, Wilkins, who was a normal dev, but 76 overall. Very good block shed, zone coverage, man coverage. Not the best, but very good overall. Obviously, not a bad player. Teague, 72 overall. Also hidden development trait. What was his abilities? 90 strength as well. Finesse and block shed. I feel like this would be the guy that would be superstar, because that finesse and block shed is a little low. Put him in, 96, whatever. And I was wrong again. Star dev. What about Gilmore, the highest overall player we drafted, I believe. 77 overall. Definitely not a generational. Could still just straight up have superstar, though. You don't have to be a generational player to have superstar dev. And he does. Okay, fair enough. Future-proofing right tackle, maybe? I don't even know. Wearing number 50, whatever. What else do we have? He drops down to... Wow, that's 3 overall loss. That's definitely something. Craig was a 60 or a 74 overall. That's not bad. He's not great, but he's not terrible. Kind of curious to see the other middle linebacker, but I also, unfortunately, don't really remember his name. I think he was also a middle linebacker, though, right? Where was our guy taken? Well, I don't see the guy. Was it Gaines? It might have been Gaines. Oh, hidden dev. Lower overall than our guy, but if he's like higher than star, this is the better draft pick, unfortunately. And his dev is star, so we're chilling. Season 4, the offensive line is looking as good as ever. Right tackle / left tackle is solved for the future. We just need one more lineman, and we're good to go. Looking at the tight end, great. Wide receivers, great. Maybe too many great wide receivers. What is Mims now, 25? 24? He's so young. Obviously, he's going to need a contract. We can afford it. Bo Nix, finally a decent dev, but 80 overall superstar. I mean, he's kind of reaching that ceiling a little bit. Javonte Williams, I'd love to see a superstar dev because he's like 27, 26. Man, the ages of these players, it's nice. It's nice, starting from the beginning, if you will. Wilkins needs a dev up. Gordon needs a dev up, but we're actually in a much better spot defensively, especially future-wise. But Teague and Newkirk are on the lower side, I can't lie. Rankin, superstar dev, that's a dub. All right, here are the re-signings. Mims, yes. Drew, yes. Riley, maybe at that price. Matthews, I mean, we never really even cared about him joining. Tyrant sticks around, absolutely. Armstead, more than likely not. And then I think that's it. I don't think we really have anyone else. Thurman, we just re-signed him. Matt Gay, we're just interchanging kickers at this point. We made the playoffs. I'm actually genuinely shocked. I was about to say, oh, wow, Bo Nix cooked. But I was about to say some complete BS, the amount of losses we had at the end. Look at all those losses. Lost 4 of our last 6. Unbelievable, but we held on just enough to a playoff spot. And we are in the playoffs, obviously, the postseason. Number 1 yards. Don't know about the touchdowns, but Bo Nix doesn't seem to be the problem. I'm not sure really what it is. Maybe just lack of talent on defense, I guess. But picks are a little high, but overall yards and touchdowns are great. Javonte was pretty good. McCain was great. Sutton was great. Lloyd was pretty good. Marvin was pretty good when you consider all the names that are being fed here. O-line, Tyron Smith allows 10 sacks. Sure. Browning, 10 sacks. The rest, not a whole lot, but at least Browning's doing something. Picks, only 7 kicks. Oh my God, he's ass. Holy Matt. What a Matt season. DevUps, or not DevUps, but award wins, non-existent, which means DevUps probably not looking too great. But could it all be for nothing as we were playing against the Chiefs? You have the same overall as them, though. Put some respect on the name. And I don't see Xavier Worthy on their team, so I guess the size concerns were legit. Out of the league in 4 years, like a lot of people say, but yeah, we'll see. 28-14. I mean, this is a really high-scoring game as they're going to sneak in another field goal. His offense is doing well, but the defense is giving up literally everything. But also on the other side, you could say the same. And we're going to beat the Chiefs in the first game of this playoff potential run. Very impressive. Bo Nix outplaying Mahomes, especially when you consider the 4 touchdowns to their 2 on the ground. Travis Kelce's still here too, so no excuses there. Damn. Okay. I like it. The team did well on offense. Set of the pass. Year 4 is literally like the magic season for us so often compared to not. But we'll see if this is the year. Obviously, the Bills are a very high record of 15-2. Very good overall as well, even though we're higher than them. And then the winner of this actually plays the Jaguars. Looks like we had a chance and then gave them the ball back. Short field. Down by 7. Tied up at 14 all. Defense ever wants to show up? No. Giving up points literally every single drive. Offense is not playing exactly as well as they did against the Chiefs, but still pretty well. Up by 4. Down by 3. And this could be the game right here. You got to get a stop. Otherwise, it's over. 3rd and inches. The game's on the line. Like, forget, having the ability to not have enough points to score, but just you don't have the ball anymore. The game's over if they get this first down. And they blew it. 4th and inches, what are they going to do? I mean, I don't see why you would, not go for this. A little more predictable now on the call, but I got to say, from the 2 is a lot to ask for. And despite having a run commit, they run it with ease. And the game is essentially over. I suppose technically we have that one timeout, keeping it quote-unquote alive. We blow it up in the backfield, so we'd have maybe 30 seconds left at best. I don't see why they would throw this. They can still potentially get the touchdown with just running the ball. But I kind of have to listen to the game's words, if you will. They think they're going to throw the ball? I believe it. Was that mid? The audible for mid. I mean, I think mid is just like the safest. What the hell? I just got called. I don't know what's going on here. I'm not gonna use her that. I was on ice skates, and they kind of sell. Assuming they kick this field goal here, they're gonna give us a full minute to work with. That's a lot. That is a lot of time. Patrick Peterson, special teams expert. Trying to block it, can't get it, and we're going to let him have it. 1:10 left, and the touchdown gives you the lead. Who's on the return? Craig the corner. Sounds very like children's book. Hey, kids. Look who visited us. Wow, good job, number 37. We're starting from the 14 now. Look who visited us. It's Craig the cornerback. Hey, Craig, can you tell us what it's like being a backup in the league that gets the ball returned to the 14-yard line when we need it most to be further? Sutton, and that's a great throw. Sutton's going to get out of bounds after gaining 1 billion yards, about 29 to be exact. Same number. Of course, the field goal is basically off limits. And by basically, I mean it's physically off limits. There's 0 chance we're kicking a field goal. Same kind of route, and that's a good throw. Holds on. I don't know if he got out of bounds this time. It's a different receiver, but, we're a collective here. Clock is moving. Maybe even look at this as like a throwaway play. The clock is not our biggest friend. I really don't like the fact that Mims has been in like all the biggest routes. Give me something like this. Set it up deep. Double teamed? Kind of. And Sutton had a chance. Doesn't get it. Double in. Lloyd is the name. Touchdowns is his game. We buy the time. He's got him. Overthrows him. No shots. That was for the win. It's crazy to risk, but I'm going for the screen pass. I mean, maybe the clock got to my head a little bit more than it needed to, but I just felt like we didn't have the time to, like, dink and dime our way down anymore. And they're on this. And oh my God, there's open seas everywhere. I can't really blame Bo on this one, but that will end the season. Maybe should have threw it to him before he stopped running, but I wanted to make sure that that linebacker was going to leave it. Oh, that's pain. We had two big plays, one of them for a touchdown, the other one for a big gainer down the sideline, maybe even the touchdown, and neither were hits. Either way, as electrifying as that was, I was electrolytes. Drink your Gatorade. It's going to be the final season coming up, no matter what. It could have been our year, but it wasn't. It could have been. It was the Jaguars, and the Jaguars do win against the team we just lost to. That's the one. And then they get smoked by the Cowboys 37-0. So what does that mean? We lost to the team that just lost 37-0. Lloyd goes up in dev. No one else does. Not even Bo. And then defensively, Rankin and Browning both go up in dev, which are, I mean, pretty nice. I mean, especially for Browning, who's a little bit on the older side. Did we even look at the sack totals? I kind of feel like I forgot to look at the sack totals, but Rankin, Superstar X Factor, I don't feel like he had a season that deserved that, no? Am I wrong? Also, how did Bo Nix? Is the picks he threw? Rankin had, I mean, that's a lot of tackles for loss. Maybe that's what it is. 22 tackles for loss is kind of crazy. We're in a 3-4, right? I believe we are. I put us in a 3-4. I don't know. But yeah, let's go to the re-signings. I don't know who would have retired, but if Tyron's still here, we're keeping him. So much money, so little free agents. Maybe this is a year that there's finally someone to blow some money on and maybe make ourselves a super squad. I don't know. But 123 mil, no to the 5th year, no to him. We already got our backups. Tyron Smith, he's not the best, but he's a cool dude. 1 year 17 for the 86 overall now. Very hard drop off, but that's fine. Frank Ragnow, Laporta, Stanley, bunch of offensive linemen. We don't really need them. Actually, we do kind of need a right tackle. I know we have the superstar in the mix, but I think we might just go for one of the proven linemen here. Frank Ragnow, we don't really need the center. Normally, I just do it anyways, but this time I'm not going to. Ramczyk, nah. Realistically, it is probably Stanley's the best option, especially with nobody, kind of fighting for him. 2 year, $49 million deal. It doesn't even put a dent in the salary cap we have remaining. We have a really good team. DT1, I'm going to take Kobe Turner as well. Better options out there, but not in free agency. Let me tell you that much. Not in free agency, and we're trying to win now. Those are the names. Don't wear them out. Do they join? Stanley does. Kobe Turner still won't join. Kobe Turner still won't join. Nice. All right, so I don't know why I just decided not to talk about it, but we ended up trading a 1st-round pick and a 3rd-round pick to the Titans for Joe Boss, who is a superstar X-Factor interior defensive lineman, leaving us basically with our own 2nd-round pick, but overall, a good decision, I think. Here are his ratings. Not the best pass rusher, but very good at stopping the run at 90 block shed. And once again, X Factor, which is amazing. So, as far as what we have left, draft pick-wise, we have 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just no 1st round or 3rd round picks, which is, we're going to probably use it on a position like that anyways. All right, moving on to the draft pick 25 in the 2nd round. Might even future-proof the linebacker position or even just get a guy to start because our guy, even though he's a decent overall, is only normal development trade after all. But this is what my board looks like. We got some linebackers. Got some. Nothing insane. DT didn't get scout him further. Realistically, it's O-line or linebacker, which I think he got a couple of decent left guards there. I think linebacker makes a little more sense. And as far as who's more guaranteed, it'd probably be between Hayward and Hobbs, I believe. So I'm going to look at Hayward real quick. I know the clock's ticking, but that's fine. 22 years old. The left side looks better than the right side for, if he's good or not. And then Hobbs was 23. I mean, I put him on the list because I was desperate, but I mean, is there really much of an argument here? I guess you have Lewis as well. A zone coverage, 22. Elite speed. Those types of players are usually hidden dev. I'm taking Dante Lewis. And he is hidden. I was expecting normal dev to show up, but he is very athletic as well. Great pick. Might even be our starter. The problem is, usually when you go left outside linebacker, they usually drop very hard at middle linebacker, so we'll see what happens. Now we move on to the 4th round. Normally I would trade up, but realistically we don't have our 1st or 3rd, so I think we should just take best available, which I think is Bruce Davis, the 6'2" corner with a couple of really nice ratings in there. Sadly only normal, but maybe we got our depth at corner. We get 2 draft picks for next year with that trade, and this pick might be like a kicker or something. Kind of another mid-kicker class, but Danny Harper at least has good, and he is hidden dev, 92 kick power. Maybe the kicker of the future. I mean, it's better than not landing that guy that has hidden. Draft recap for the final draft of this rebuild. Wow, those overalls suck. I mean, we kind of expected the kicker and fullback to not be that high, and corner was kind of later. And we didn't have a 1st-round pick, and our 2nd-round pick was also really late, but that is really not okay. Middle linebacker could be the starter. Star dev. I don't know if he actually will start, even though he is. Oh, he actually went up in overall, did he? Middle linebacker? He's pretty raw, can't lie, but that athleticism is truly through the charts. Or off the charts. I don't know what through the charts mean. Old but gold. I'm going to trade McGlinchey off to the Raiders for a superstar backup safety, a 5th and a 7th round pick for the following draft. I don't hate that. The final season. This is what the team looks like. Wide receivers are off the charts talented. You have a 89, an 89, and an 87. Tight ends an 82. Quarterback 83, getting there. Running back 90. O-line's really, really good, especially with Stanley joining the squad. A couple of normals on defense, but they're very high overall normals. And, the edge is X factor. So we'll see what happens this season. But, we're going to be losing some names, and some of the names are going to drop off after this season. Guys like Javonte will probably regress a little bit. Probably lose Stanley and Smith, but at least Smith minimum. Sutton's going to regress. So this is the best window, really. This is by far the best window. Make a purchase. Team's actually playing pretty well. 118 mil. Obviously Thurman. Obviously Bo Nix, which I don't know how that price is so low. Joe Boss, obviously we just paid for him. Lloyd, obviously. Johnson, probably. Browning, I think so. Sutton, maybe. And the rest, probably not. And after all that, we are down to $36 million. I did not re-sign Cortland Sutton, as I think he's going to hit a wall, and probably should have already by now. We had a really good season, but we need the Chiefs to lose and for us to win to get the bye week, and that's exactly what happened. Wow, we would not have gotten it in the NFC, but look at that. A little bit of a slide near the end, but we cooked just enough to get the bye week. Of course, I've run the same scheme over the last 2 seasons, and it's just out of nowhere, finally, it was good enough to win it all, if you will. And, well, win it all. To get the bye week, obviously, we still have to play the playoff games, but stats, we've seen Bo Nix, number 2. Yards, wow, okay, if he's not an X factor, I don't know who is. That could be MVP. Javonte, just at 4 yards per carry with 15 touchdowns. Decent. McCain was amazing. Lloyd was really good. Mims was pretty good. Sutton was all right. Blocking, 8 sacks for a center is insane. Glad we re-signed him. Browning, we gave him a deal for 2 years, 48. He's insane. Boss was a great addition. Rankin wasn't bad. This could actually be our year. Harper, the rookie kicker, didn't miss a single kick. This could be our year. I mean, this is, pretty much everyone in every facet was great. J.J. McCarthy wins MVP. Bo Nix at number 5. I'm a little surprised we're that low, but I guess so. And number 5 for quarterback for AFC. That is a little strange, but sure, why not? No award wins, but we did win the biggest award of them all, which is the 1st round bye. Who is it that we're going to have to play against here? It is the Colts. It seemed like they lost like 3 games in a row, I'm pretty sure I've seen, but let's see it. You can't be too careful. You never know. Here it is. Winner goes to the championship round, and the Steelers beat the Chiefs. We lost to the Chiefs twice during the regular season. 1 win, and we would have had a much easier way to this, bye week other than playing the final game and having a win and hope they lose. Worked out anyways, but still. Glad to not play against our kryptonite, if you will. 14 all. Still 14 all. They got a recovery. We're up by 7. We're now up by 14. They got a field goal, but it's not going to do anything as we're going to head to the championship round against the Steelers. Looking at Bo Nix, he was amazing. Richardson was very good as well. Rushing was terrible. Lloyd killed it at tight end. Defensively, 2 sacks for Browning, 2 sacks for Sanders, 1.5 for Rankin, 1 for Boss, half for Jones. Our pass rush was unbelievable. Here it is, going up against those Steelers. They're very high overall and really good record. 12-4 or 12-5 anyways. Technically had to win 2 games to get here as well. Going to the end of the game, don't get taken out by the Steelers. If we at least make the Super Bowl, I'd consider it a dub. Bo Nix really didn't develop super well, and I don't know how the hell we're going to do this Falcons rebuild when we do. But, wow, this is a blowout. But, yeah, these quarterbacks, 23-plus, normal dev, not really developing super well. But that was over in basically a blink of an eye. We talk about how we almost never see a shutout, but here you go. Here's a shutout. Javonte Williams was pretty damn good. Receiving was, pretty average across the board. Sacks. They actually beat us in sacks, and then Surtain with an interception to the Super Bowl. Super Bowl time. What do we got? Cowboys? Of course it's the Cowboys. Who would have thought? Who would have thought it would have been the Cowboys? Let's take a look at our dev-ups. Bo should be an X factor, which he is. Lloyd's an X factor. Defensively, any extra upgrades in dev does not appear to be, but we got Bo Nix as an X factor. He is an 86 overall, which is not the best, but he's all right. Short accuracy, ironically enough, is his lowest rating by quite a significant margin. Kind of hilarious if you really think about it. And then Lloyd, he went to X factor as well. He's actually insanely good, no? What a goon. Here it is. The Dallas Cowboys winner. Well, they win the Super Bowl, obviously. Looks like we're kicking the ball first, so left to right is them. They get a touchdown to start, and we get stopped. That's a field goal for them. 7-10, 7-13. Touchdown would give us the lead. It does. Halftime score will remain the same. They get a huge touchdown to start the second half with a 2-point. It's all tied up, 21 all. They have the 3-point lead. Final quarter, we have a 4-point lead. 1 touchdown drive would do it, but they're scoring. They're in scoring range from the 3. I mean, this rate, you kind of just hope they get in there because, I mean, the chances of actually stopping them are so low. Do you really want all your timeouts gone? And nobody gets up there. I tried to switch, didn't give it to me, and that will be Parkinson's for the win. Do have all 3 timeouts, though, and we only need a field goal, so not the worst situation to be in. Quick throw outside to Mims. I don't know why he's going drastically outside like that. Just catch the ball, bro. To rely on a rookie kicker is definitely crazy, but first we actually have to get in position to rely on him. And that's a lot to... But I said that's a lot to ask for. Wow, that ball was not even close. The sliders go crazy. From the 25-yard line. In between. Perfectly overthrown. 4th and 10 for the 25. Yeah, I don't know how we ever won games in the Bison's franchise. I'm going to be honest with you. Seems damn near impossible, really. 4th and 10. Game's over if we don't at least convert. And Micah Parsons does what Micah Parsons does. Barring a miracle with all 3 timeouts, we have lost. They gain 8 yards on the first one, and that will be game. The Broncos fall short in the Super Bowl against the Cowboys, who are basically always on X Games mode. Bo Nix threw 2 picks, which you can't win games like that. And overall, the team just wasn't as good as normal. Parsons killed us. There's no pressure from our side, and we just did not deserve to win. All right, let's see if we had any retirements. I do not see Tyron Smith. Ronnie Stanley drops off a little bit. Javonte Williams drops off a little bit. Sutton definitely drops off. And then defensively, I don't know if I actually see a regression, but... Oh, Kyler Gordon went up and down. I don't remember if I mentioned that or not, but that's something, I suppose. But looking at the team as we head our way out of this rebuild... Quinn Miners, pass block finesse wasn't great, but everything else was very, very good. Pass block's a little, it's the regular is a little mid, but very, very good outside of that. Lloyd we just looked at, but 86 overall, one of the best 86 overall tight ends I've ever seen. The catching's amazing, the route running's ridiculous. Don't know if he just has bad release, but he is really, really solid, especially for a day 3 projected Then we look over at McCain, who is 6'5", 94 overall. His release never got up there, but his short and medium are amazing. His catching's amazing. He got a speed upgrade at one point in time, and his deep route's not so bad either. Then we look over at Cortland Sutton. He's like slightly above what he would have started at. He's still pretty good, but obviously you just don't really feel the value is there. Mims, the 89 overall, on he's here till he's 30. Will go back to number 2 if we were to continue playing. Javonte Williams, of course, a little bit of down since like last season, but overall up since we started this rebuild. Amazing trucking, okay juke move, not very athletic. And then, of course, the main man, Bo Nix, almost called him Joe Nix, Joe Mama, 86 overall. Short routes lacking, deep routes not the best, medium's pretty good. Very weird build, right? Very, very strange, without a doubt. Very strange stuff. Then we move on to the defensive side of the ball, where Kyler Gordon is an 87 overall star dev player now. 28, 93 zone is ridiculous. Obviously lacking in the speed, so fits well at safety. Elam really not developing super well. He's a 79 overall. Man coverage is pretty good. Zone coverage is really iffy. Those hybrid builds, they annoy me so freaking much. Ranking goes to a 90 overall. Finally had himself a pretty decent season. 96 finesse move, pretty damn athletic. Then we move on to the other side of the defensive end. Mr. Browning, the 88 overall, 89 power move. Decently athletic and was the most consistent out of all of the pass rushers on this team. Then we look at Drew Sanders, who's only an 85 overall. I've seen him as way better than this, but very good block shed, very good zone coverage. Always going to get that balance when you do field general, which is like basically the best linebacker upgrade in the game, for off-ball at least. Wilkins, 80 overall, never dev'd up. Great block shed, not so great in coverage, though. Then defensive line-wise, we're going to be looking at Newkirk, the guy that we kind of recently grabbed. 79 overall, great block shedder. A lot of great block shedding players on this D-line. Not so great again to the quarterback. Here's Boss, who we just got, who had a good season doing so, but overall his ratings shouldn't reflect that at all. But obviously a really good pickup there with a trade. Had himself, some XP, some sacks, even though he's not really supposed to be a good pass rusher. And then Kobe Turner, really just a name at this point. Then the final 2 players, the cornerbacks. Patrick Surtain, a 99 overall with leftover upgrade points, is just a goon. Catching is like only low attribute. Tackles even an 80. Got tackle better than most linebackers at this point. He's insane. And then Thurman, the 91 overall, Clint Thurman, kind of, wouldn't say went toe-to-toe with him, but definitely matched his energy quite a bit. Very good catching, great man in zone, presses up there, very good cornerback. But anyways, that is going to be it for our realistic style rebuild of the Denver Broncos. If you have a team you want to see next, let me know in the comment section below. Maybe follow me on Twitter, JeromePkr, second channel PKR Plays for non-Madden content. And if your team did well, did bad, whatever you want to discuss it in the comment section below, feel free to go ahead. Don't get too crazy, but go ahead. And maybe I'll pop in and have some words as well. Regardless, though, thanks for watching. Hope you guys come back for next video. But until next video,